Slutcha, howdy do buckaroos. How the heck are you? I thought I'd do a Wednesday hump day happy hour cocktail video. We check something real first, guys. Bear with me. Just that. There we go. And we should be back in business. There we are. Hey, happy hump day. I thought I'd do a happy hour cocktail video with some feeling beer. I haven't drank much on my last couple of days off. I did have two cocktails yesterday. I didn't drink anything Monday after work, and I didn't have any more later. We'll see how today goes. But anyway, I had an idea for two cocktails. One using the Yakida white rum. It's 80 proof. In a mojito, more or less. I looked up a couple different recipes, and I was surprised. I was up for lemon basil mojito specifically, and I was surprised that none of them called for the lime, just the lemon. One called for mint, one didn't. I did add some mint to this one. It's muddled on the bottom of the glass. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oops, I've got on my lemon there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the basil or the mint is in there. But like I said, one recipe called for mint, one didn't. I used a lemon basil simple syrup, so I could put a little basil leaf in there for a garnish and a lemon wedge. Damn, that's good. That's really good. Mm-mm-mm. A lemon basil simple syrup, and just a splash club soda at the end. Gosh, that's good, man. That rum does blend nicely. Is it extremely high end rum? Well, probably not, to be honest with you. They do have some others, um, but I wanted something easy. I wanted something for mixing. I got it for a specific show, and it worked out. So, and my my wife, who doesn't drink, didn't used to drink at all. Every great once in a while, she likes the cocktail, and she seems to like this rum all right. So, and when I say cocktail, I put maybe a half ounce. I got to make them really weak, man. One time I put a full ounce in there. She couldn't drink that sucker at all. There wasn't enough mixture to put it. Anyway, I'm kind of the opposite. So, man, that it really is good. Forgot why I've had that fresh basil out there. It was getting kind of cooked out there. Our mint's kind of dying off, unfortunately, but I get one more use out of it here. I do feel that nice fresh mint. It's a sweet mint that I'm using. Um, most mojitos call for a spearmint, some peppermint, but most spearmint. But the fresh mint kind of works. It adds just a little bit more. Oh man, that's delicious, man. Nice, refreshing cocktail for this very hot, steamy, humid, as a mother humper Ozarks day. Yeah, man. It's hot, so I probably won't do many videos outside today. I'll go back inside, start doing the rest inside if I do any more today. But I had to step outside to do a couple things and throw some stuff in the trash and that kind of thing. So let's do one outside. Doesn't hurt to sweat a little bit. Oh man, that really is nice. It's nice and refreshing. It's light. It's clean. Perfect summer cocktail. I like it. Lemon basil. Oh, mercy. So back to work tomorrow after 2 days off. But probably won't do too much today. Oh, but then I go 3 days, get a day off. It's not so bad. I got a couple long days in there. So I probably won't do too much today. But I want to have a couple cocktails about happy hour and have a little chat with you. Don't watch a lot of Olympics. Really been digging that. I tell you, the surprise for me has been Snoop Dogg and Flavor Flav for that matter, but really Snoop Dogg. He's really been a great proponent of the Olympics. And somebody asked him why he liked the Olympics or why he sponsored the women's beach volleyball team, and he just, oh man, the reasons he gave about how wonderful the Olympics are. Wow, I wish I could say it that cleanly. It was just amazing. And you could, I mean, he had sunglasses on, so I like to say you could see it in his eyes, but you could really feel the passion as he spoke. Really amazing. But I do love women's beach volleyball. I ain't gonna lie. So I can see why he sponsored the team. They're fun to watch, and I'm not being sexist here, folks. But I am always amazed at the athleticism. I love the sport. I even watch the men's. I love just the beach volleyball is just an intense game, fast paced. Oh man, that really is a nice cocktail. I'm gonna have another one of those. We're gonna have to do that again, man. I went a different direction with the second one. I did an experiment last night with a cocktail, and I didn't have a name for it. So I started looking up recipes today, and there is a recipe for a basil lemon smash. It's similar to what I did yesterday. The only difference was ice. I served mine straight up. This one served more like a highball. So I'm going to do it like that, more closer to that lemon basil smash. So I wasn't sure if it had a name, man, but it's really delicious. Yeah, it really is. It's good, man. Uh, oh man, that is good. Never really been a rum guy, to be honest with you. Never been a tequila guy, but circumstances I had to pick up a bottle of each. Last last two shows I did for And Chasers. So I said, well, if I have these products, well, let's make the most use out of it. Got lemon basil syrup yesterday, so today I was like, well, I wonder if I can use it in a mojito. And there are some very similar recipes. There's one of them called for mint, one of them didn't call for mint, neither of them called for lime. I really thought they'd call for lime because a mojito typically has lime, but we're used to lemon. But still, I thought it might need some lime as well. Neither recipe did. Like I said, only one called for mint, and I always made the assumption that all mojitos had to have mint. But I did get closer to the one I called for mint because I did muddle some, drop it in the bottom. I guess you can't, it's hard to see, but it's in there. It's in there, man. Added a nice little basil leaf for a garnish. I did squeeze. I had a lemon wedge in there anyway, but I wanted to put one on top as I fix the drink. More for aesthetics than anything else, but I did squeeze just a little bit of lemon juice in there right at the end, just to freshen up the cocktail right at the end. I love the aromatics of fresh basil, and I'm tempted to turn this recipe in at work. I don't know. I think people love basil or they don't. So I don't know if there's going to be enough basil lovers out there, but I really feel like lemon basil is a perfect summer cocktail, especially as we move into August. Oh, got to get some fresh peaches so I can experiment with another idea. But anyways, I'm about to finish this one up. I'm going to get cocktail number 2, okay? Bear with me. I'm going to only step off the camera for a second. Gosh, that's delicious. I'll be right back. Don't move. All right. Now, as promised, the lemon basil by my guest. I said don't leave, and you left. Some people just can't follow instructions, you little bastard. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I don't know if you're a bastard or not. I am not aware of your lineage. Not that it matters. Uh, I think I was 10 years old before I knew my name wasn't Little Son of a Bitch. Marry a little son of a bitch. Anyway, I had an unusual upbringing. Hochatown Distilling, small batch select. This one comes in at 104 proof. Our straight bourbon whiskey is handcrafted from mashing with the finest corn, rye, and barley uh, through fermenting, aging, and bottling. Every part of the process is done by hand. Hochatown products are just insane. This just says aged not less than 3 years. So it is a young bourbon, but boy, is it good. And I've had some folks disagree with me that have some bourbon knowledge, in some ways more than I, some ways not. It all depends on how you look at it, I guess. But I am a fan of small distilleries. Some use smaller barrels. Some use staves or chips to get to a process quicker. But I just like the way a lot of these products are coming together. Hochatown out of brewed and bottled by Hochatown Distilling. Broken Bow. I can't remember if it's Broken Bow or Broken Arrow. I keep getting those confused. Anyways, so what I've got in here is a fair amount of this whiskey, a very nice amount, man. Um, oh gosh, that's delicious. Honestly, I've got about 3 ounces of the whiskey. I've got 1 ounce of my lemon basil simple syrup. Forgot to put the basil in there for the garnish, so that I was showing you earlier. So add that at the end to make it just a little prettier. That's gorgeous, Tom. I don't care who you are. That's beautiful, man. Anyways, I digress. It does add to the aromatics once you put that in there, though. So, I've got 3 ounces of the bourbon, 1 ounce of the simple syrup, uh, lemon. Oh, I forgot to add my lemon garnish too. By golly, I'm really slipping on a job. Let's put a little squeeze in there on top just to freshen it up, and we'll drop that wedge in there. Now we got a pretty cocktail. So I did this yesterday, but I served it straight up. I didn't have a name for it. I didn't figure I made it up, but I didn't know, because it is so simple. I figured somebody would have to come up with this combination at some point. So I did look up recipes, and I finally found a cocktail called a lemon basil smash. The only real difference is they used ice where I served mine straight up. They used a plain simple syrup, then added the squeeze of lemon juice, and then the basil. I just made a lemon basil simple syrup, but I did add some fresh squeezed lemon juice at the end. So other than that, I mean, they're very similar. So we're going to refer to this as a lemon basil, a bourbon lemon basil smash. It is good though, man. Really good. Damn flies are on my last nerve, though. I got to tell you, that's why I like to do my videos inside. I like to get outside every once in a while because I like to use the bar when I can, but then the bugs just get overwhelming, man. And then I get angry and frustrated, and it defeats the purpose of coming out here to have a drink and relax, man. Anyways, we're just gonna muddle through it. I'm gonna try to ignore them and just focus on this beautiful cocktail, man. That's tasty. I only thought about the idea because my wife was talking about having the basil out there. So I said, okay, well, let me go out and pick some. So I went out and picked some and I made the simple syrup. Why not use just a simple syrup and then add the lemon and basil? That's a good question because that's what they did in the other cocktail. The reason I like the lemon basil simple syrup is I want those flavors to permeate the cocktail, right? I don't want just the sugar and then add the squeeze of lemon and the basil. I did add the squeeze of lemon, I did add the basil, but I want the basil and the lemon and the syrup so it's not as sweet and I'm tasting those products, right? I'm really tasting that lemon juice. I'm really tasting that basil because it's in the syrup itself. That's why I do it different. I'm not saying the other way's wrong. I'm not saying my way's better. I'm just saying that's why I do it because I like it for myself. Basil's a great ingredient, though. I mean, you can use it in well, it's great. Well, it's great in cocktails. It really is. I mean, but it also can be both refreshing and comforting, which why the ingredient itself, depending on what it's paired with, works great for summer cocktails. It also works great for fall and winter cocktails. Again, depending on what you're pairing it with. I put it with some lemon, and it's bright and refreshing. Uh, Gosh, that is just gorgeous, man. I do like what I did there, man. I like it a lot. That's good, man. I don't care who you are. That's tasty. Anyways, yeah, I got to tell you, I do like the mojito. It is bright, it's refreshing, it's clean. But I do love me some bourbon. The other question somebody asked was, why would you use a bourbon of that quality in a cocktail like this? Oh, the answer is your cocktails are only as good as the ingredients you put in them. Would I advocate putting $100 whiskey into a cocktail like this? Well, probably not. But then I might question why you would buy that $100 whiskey in the first place. However, having said that, yeah, again, once again, your cocktails are only as good as the products you put in them. This is a great whiskey. It is definitely worthy of drinking neat and should be drank neat. But when you're doing a bourbon or a spirit forward cocktail, you want to use a product. It's like the adage they use about wine and cooking. Never cook with a wine you wouldn't drink. So don't make a fine cocktail out of a whiskey that you wouldn't drink neat. I'm going to use that same adage. If you wouldn't drink that product neat, don't make a spirit or bourbon or whiskey or whatever forward cocktail with it. It's that simple. You put a bottom shelf whiskey in a drink like this, doesn't matter how much time you spent on that simple syrup. I'm using raw sugar. I'm making a very fine simple syrup. So if I put a bottom shelf bourbon in here, I'm still going to have a bottom shelf cocktail. Am I doing a disservice to this bourbon? Some might ask. Some might. Um, yes, you would definitely have an argument. Again, this bourbon should be drank neat. However, the however is yes, even with the addition of that lemon basil simple syrup, I still can taste the whiskey here, which is why I wanted to use this particular bourbon for this cocktail because I thought the blend would enhance the flavor profile of this particular bourbon gives off. Ugh. Little fly I was trying to get, but I missed. I missed, damn it. Mercy. Anyways, gosh, that is a nice cocktail, though. I gotta tell you. Lemon basil simple syrup. Again, it's for me. I only use raw sugar, so I use equal parts water, raw sugar, depending on how big a batch. This was a test batch, so I only used. It was a test batch. I wasn't sure, so I only used half cup of raw sugar, half cup of water, boiling water. And then what I did is once I got that sugar dissolved, I added the fresh lemon juice. I added the fresh basil and just let it steep like tea, right? It was off the heat, off the boil. I just have it all sitting there and then I cover it and just let everything do its job. Let the oils, let the flavors of the basil sit in. let the lemon juice really do add that acidity to the cocktail, or the simple syrup, if you will. Like I said earlier, I put a lot of love and thought into these simple syrups, even though they are simple. I mean, it is simple adding just lemon basil. Well, that's not new, huh? No, but I just want to do it in a way where it kind of feels new, because I feel like a lot of folks, sometimes when you get back to the basics, it feels like something new. I remember when Huey Lewis and the News first came on the scene back in the late 70s into the early 80s. They were doing that, kind of doo-wop sound with a little faster, heavier rock. And it seemed like it was new, even though it wasn't. They were using some of the old stuff, but bringing it to a modern level. And I like to think I kind of try to do the same thing. I like to keep my cocktails very simple, because I feel like the under 30 mixologists really want to have 100 ingredients in a cocktail. They want to do this, that, and the other. And I'm not knocking their thought process, or their ability to do these cocktails in a great way, but I'm just saying it doesn't always need to be done that way. Sometimes simple is better. The classic cocktails are simple for a reason. You got four ingredients, including a garnish in most, sometimes five. But yeah, I mean, if you've got to put 10 ingredients, why do you need that? Or I got to do this, that, and the other. No, it doesn't need to be that. Don't, maybe, again, this was my old guy thinking, is things, don't make things more complicated than they need to be. Just keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, it's that KISS method. The KISS method. Yeah, maybe the bourbon's starting to get to. Oh, hell. Yeah, sometimes I get that. Tell me, how much have you had to drink? The truth is, I make those same mistakes when I'm stone cold sober. A lot of that's my Tourette's. And keep it simple, stupid. That KISS method. Then again, this is some high powered bourbon, so I probably am catching a little buzz at this moment in time. Anyways, regardless, listen, if you like a complicated cocktail, I'm not dissing you. I don't want it to seem like that. If you are a clever and crafty mixologist and can do these things, hey man, you have my utmost respect. I'm just saying there's another way to look at things. And there's a reason why some of us old guys did things the way they did, because it just worked. And I think I even made the same mistakes as a younger person, thinking things need to be more complicated than they need to be. And as I've grown older, I've kind of realized classic cocktails are classic for a reason. Classic food is a reason. Uh, there's a reason. Comfort food. Again, there's a reason why these are simple, because that is what's special. You don't need 100 ingredients to make a classic dish. You don't need 100 ingredients to make a classic cocktail. You just gotta love what you do. Again, I'm not dissing those that make those, more clever cocktails than I. However, I'm just saying it doesn't always need to happen. And I like to think that those 20 somethings, when they get to be 50 something like me, or, a year away from 60 like me. It's funny, a lot of folks my age want to hide their age, or they want to lie about their age, or they don't want to say their age. And I'm kind of the opposite. I'm rounding up at this point. How old are you? Hell, I'm almost 60. I didn't turn May. I just turned 59 in May, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to 60. I'd rather say 60 than 50. Now 59, 59. I'm 60, damn it. Yeah. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, I at this point I'm ranting. Oh, how old are you? I'm almost 60. I want that higher age. My son, we lost our son to cancer at 14. I lost my dad to lung disease, heart disease, and just about everything but cancer at the age of 75. My mom just passed away at the age of 89. I have no issue with revealing my age. I think people of any age should be proud that you've gotten that far. I don't. America's kind of a weird place sometimes. We're proud of some things that we've done great, but sometimes we're proud of some things that are not great. Having to conceal who you are is one of them. We should all be proud of whatever age that we are. I mean, if you're 30, say you're 30. If you're 50, say you're 50. If you're 80, say you're 80. I mean, nobody thinks less of you for being a specific age. It's kind of a luck of the draw for those that get further than that. I mean, like I said, having lost our son at the age of 14, I just it sometimes it does bother me, to be honest with you, when people say, "Well, no, you're not." Be proud of the age. Not most people don't get to be whatever age that you are. So yes, I am damn near 60. I'm rounding up at this point. Yeah, I only turned 59 a couple months ago, but when somebody, how old are you? Oh, I'm almost 60. I'm proud of that. I'm rounding up, and I think our society should embrace that. If you are that old, say you're that old. I mean, other societies have done that. Native Americans, for instance, are proud of their ancestry. They would be proud of how old they were. They wouldn't hide it. Americans are kind of that different animal. We're very arrogant, very narcissistic as a society. I'm not saying everybody is, but I'd like to see us get to the point where we just accept people for who they are, age, gender, whatever. I mean, love who you love, be who you are, be a decent person, don't be a prick. It seems simple to me, man, but I'm on the end of my second cocktail, so I want to love everybody at this point. Anyways, I digress. I'm Tom the Wiz. I think everything's lovely at this moment in time. I love the heat. I love the sweat off my brow. I love that I'm old and fat. I love looking at my dumpster over here. I love that I look at the stop sign across the street and they haven't mowed that. I just love everything about everything at this particular moment in time. But I digress. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor, wisdom, and all around good guy, Slancha. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.